have to know, where you live, is there still snow? Because it's April. Well, actually it's May now when you're watching this, and we still have snow here. What's going on? It's not right. Mother Nature, you screwed up this year. You had one job. So, May. We are in May, and I haven't done a wrap-up in 2 months because, like I said at the beginning of the year, I'm mashing them up this year. I'm putting 2 months in one video, and so today we're wrapping up March and April. Let's get right into it. So the first book that I read in March was Insurgent. I was getting ready for the movies because, you know, I had to refresh. It had been a year since I read it, and I had forgotten a lot of stuff that happened. But I had all like the main points still in my head, but it was a really nice refresher, and I saw the movie and I really enjoyed it. I don't care what you thought about the movie. If you hated it, I don't care. I loved it. I thought it was really true to the book. I know some things were different. I don't care. I really liked the movie. So yeah, I read Insurgent, gave it 5 out of 5 again, just like last year. Really loved it. Next, I read Heir of Fire by Sarah J. Maas, and I really enjoyed it, but it was my least favorite of the 4, I guess, that are out, including the novella. But I still enjoyed it, but there wasn't enough Selena, Dorian, and Kale in it. They were all separated, and that's what bumped it down for me. So I gave it 4 out of 5 stars instead of 5. But I really enjoyed it, and I did a full review on it, so if you want to check that out, click right here. It'll take you right over to that video. It's quite big, and I read it. And now I'm really excited for Queen of Shadows coming out this fall, probably. It's gonna be a while before we get it, so oh, why does it have to be so long between books? I don't understand. My next read was a Morgan Matson book, and it is Since You've Been Gone, and let me just say, this was really, really, really good. I absolutely loved it. It was so cute. It's not like a cutesy story, but it was really cute. There's this romance woven into it, and it's just really nice, and it was just really interesting. And I'm now realizing that the 3 books that I read in March are all green. Insurgent, Heir of Fire, and Since You've Been Gone. And let me just say, this cover is absolutely gorgeous. And the inside jacket is beautiful. It has this big picture in it, and I already ranted about all of this in my haul, so I'm not going to do it again in this one because my haul was really long because of that. So, moving on. March was also the month that I finally picked up Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and oh my god, this is so good. This series, guys, this series is phenomenal. It is so good. It's a fairy tale retelling, obviously. Cinderella, get it? And Cinder is a cyborg. She has metal parts in her body, robot parts, but she's human, but she has robot parts, so she's not really human. She's a cyborg, and it is just really good, and I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I don't know, it was so good. It was just so good. After that, I picked up 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray, and this was a cover buy. This wasn't like at all because of what the book was about. It was a cover buy, and I really enjoyed it. Gave it 4 stars. It's about this parallel traveling machine, this little necklace locket thing that lets you travel through different dimensions, and it was just really cool and interesting, and I'm excited for the next book coming out probably at the end of this year sometimes. I don't know when. I'm just really excited to see where it goes because I really loved the main characters and the story, and it was just really interesting, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. So after that, I was like, okay, I gotta get back on this series because I'm missing it, and I read Scarlet by Marissa Meyer, the 2nd book in the Lunar Chronicles, and this one follows Little Red Riding Hood. You can see her hoodie. It's like a cape here, but in the story it's a hoodie that she wears, a red hoodie, and what's nice about this, it follows both their POVs now. We had only Cinder in the first one, and this one we add in Scarlet, and it's more mainly based on Scarlet, but you still see Cinder a lot in it, and then their stories collide eventually, and it's just really well done, and I absolutely loved it. Another 5 out of 5 stars for Scarlet. So the next book I read, I hauled it, and I was like, I better like this book or else I'll be pissed because I just spent 25 bucks on a book that, you know, it wasn't really, I don't know what I'm saying, but I read-ish The Queen of the Tearling for the book of the month, the Booksplosion book of the month, but I didn't finish it. I read 171 pages of it, and I stopped reading it because I got bored with it, because it's really slow paced, and it's just like, it's interesting, but I want something that moves. Stop going on about the same thing for 10 hours and just go on with your life, okay? So it was interesting, and I just didn't finish it because I didn't feel like it, so gave it like, I would give this like almost 3 stars, not quite, but almost. So it didn't do the thing, it didn't do it for me, so oh well. But to compensate for this bad book, it wasn't a bad book, but to compensate for this bad book, I read a wonderfully awesome book. It is Confess by Colleen Hoover, and oh my gosh, this was really good, guys. If you have not read Colleen Hoover yet, I would highly suggest that you start with this one maybe. I've only read 2. I've read Slammed and Confess, but I absolutely loved Confess so much more than Slammed. This one is about a girl that moves to Texas, and she sees this art studio with a box outside that says like to leave a confession in it, and then the artist of the studio will create a painting from it, and that's where it goes from. And it was just really good, and so freaking good, and there's twists and turns, and you're just like, holy cow, oh my god, this was so good. 5 out of 5 stars. I would give this like 100 stars if I could, but that's not really possible. So go read Confess if you haven't read Confess yet. It is so good. It is so good. This next book was an impulse buy. I was browsing the shelves at Chapters, and I saw this book, and I'm like, okay, I've seen Ariel rave about this author and this book so many times, and I was like, maybe it's time to pick it up. I was a little hesitant because I'm like, I don't know if I'll like this. Ariel likes politics and stuff like that, and I'm not really a fan of that, so I was like, I don't know if I should get it or not. But I did, and it was really good. I read Animal Farms by George Orwell. If you know Ariel Bissett, she is obsessed with George Orwell. It's her favorite author, and this is like her favorite book of all time. And I read it, and really, really, really enjoyed it. It's about this farm of animals, obviously. Animal Farms, we have a pig and roosters up on the top, and you have these animals on the farm that are tired of being used for their products that they produce, like milk from the cows and meat from the pigs and the cows, and you know, they're just like fed up with it. They're like, we want our products back to us. We don't want to give it to some people who don't give a shit about us. And it's about this revolution that the pigs do, and they start like their own little government thing, and it was just really fun and really, really good. So thank you, Ariel, for recommending this book to us, because it's really good. It's just, it was really good. And now I want to read 1984 by George Orwell. So yeah, that's a good thing. So yeah, okay, moving on. And the last book that I read, I'm still reading it. It is the 30th. I'm looking at my watch. There's no day on my watch. It is the 30th, Thursday, April 30th. And I am almost halfway through, so obviously I'm not going to finish it this month. But it is Miss Mayhem by, who is Rachel Hawkins. Hawkins. Rachel Hawkins. And, yeah, it's the second book in the in the Rebel Belle trilogy thing, and I'm really enjoying it so far. It's still really funny and really cute, and I'm excited to see what happens and I already kind of know where it's going because I'm almost halfway, but the big thing hasn't started yet. And I'm just really excited to see where it goes. So, fun. So that was my wrap up for the last 2 months, March and April. And I read, let's see how many books I read. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books. I read 10 books in 2 months. I'm really happy with that. Okay, 2.5, because the Queen of the Tierling is only half read. And same as Miss Mayhem. We're gonna discard that. 10 books! 10 books read, and I really enjoyed most of these. Like, there's only really one that I didn't really like. So that's really good. So, that is it for this video, guys. I will see you next time. Goodbye!